Hey, what is up, Fishaholics? And today I'm here along one of my favorite small local ponds. And today I'm actually right this second not going to be, throwing in a line and trying to catch some bass. But what I am going to be doing is basically emptying this box. So this is actually going to be my second unboxing video. And this box here came from Ramsey Outdoor Store in New Jersey. And obviously I already opened the box, so I can't really call it an unboxing video, but I'll call it an emptying the box video to be specific. And I just wanted to really see what kind of baits I had, because I also got some newer baits that Kevin, the manager of the fishing department at Ramsey Outdoor Store, threw in some extra stuff for me. So I'm gonna hopefully take a look at some of this new stuff and see what I got. But let's get to it. First off, which I noticed first opening the box, is I got some Keitech Easy Shiner swim baits. Which if you're a subscriber, you know that I really fish, exclusively with these swim baits. These are just phenomenal swim baits, and I've got 3 different colors here. And if you've heard me say Sexy Shad, Keitech Easy Shiner swim bait, you've watched my videos. This color right here, which is my favorite and top color, is the Keitech Easy Shiner Sexy Shad swim bait. It's a nice 4-inch long swim bait, and it just straight up catches fish. And this swim bait right here has at least $1,000 under its belt just from Candlewood Lake in Connecticut alone, back in my tournament days before college. And actually right now it's mid-May, so it's May 20th today. If I was competing on Candlewood Lake in Connecticut, I would probably have a tournament on that lake in a week from now. And I would be rigging this swim bait right here, Texas style, with a 1/4 ounce pegged bullet tungsten weight. And that's how I'd be targeting smallmouth and largemouth bass. And I guarantee you, I'd be able to put together at least a 10 or 12 pound bag just alone on this Keitech Easy Shiner swim bait in Sexy Shad. I also got a couple other different colors because I want to try and experiment, and kind of branch out from just the Sexy Shad. And the other color I got here is the Bluegill Flash, which is a real good looking color. I haven't tried it yet, but just by looking at it, I can tell it's straight up going to catch fish. And then this other color I got here is the Crystal Shad, Keitech Easy Shiner swim bait, which is a real nice color. And, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm actually going to be fishing for small and largemouth bass for pre-spawn and spawning smallmouth and largemouth bass later on today. And I'm going to put all these swim baits to the test and hopefully get out a nice video for you guys. But, this is a good purchase. The next thing I got here in this box that I want to share with you guys are Scatter Wrap, or Rapala Scatter Wrap crankbaits. And this one here is natural bluegill color, and then this one here is a new color that I haven't tried before, and this is dark brown crawdad, which looks phenomenal, which I'm probably going to fish later on today as well, in unison as well with the bluegill colored Scat Wrap here. And the reason I got these baits here is because they are just phenomenal pre-spawn and spawning crankbaits. And back to Candlewood Lake in Connecticut, if you're fishing that lake in a tournament from May all the way to July, I would say if the wind picks up, find a rocky shoreline that drops off pretty steep. And now you can use this technique in any lake, say Lake Apacong, but just Candlewood Lake specifically, because I fish a lot of tournaments there in the late spring, early summer. If you have some wind and you find a rocky, steep dropping bank, fish these crankbaits. I guarantee you, you're gonna hammer the smallmouth and largemouth bass. And not small ones. You're gonna catch a few small ones, but you're gonna be catching 3-4 pounders or even 5 pounders. I've caught 3-4 pounders easy fishing these crankbaits along windswept shorelines with a steep dropping rocky bank and shoreline. You can actually check out a video of me using this bluegill colored Scat Wrap here and catching some pre-spawn bass by clicking the bottom corner here. And this video here shows you basically me catching some nice fish on this Scat Wrap. But moving on, let's see what else I got here. Kevin, the manager from Ramsey Outdoor Store, also threw in this Boomerang Tool Company, the Snip fishing line cutter. And I never actually use this. I always just use a pair of scissors, which I have here on my satchel when I'm shoreline fishing, or my bag. I always bring this bag everywhere because it has my licenses on it. I think I have like 8 different licenses in this little pouch here: Connecticut, Vermont, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Jersey, that's 6, and and I have Delaware in there. I was down in Delaware over winter break for a little bit. Oh, and Florida, so that's 7. So I have a lot of licenses, but anyways, this right here has a little pull on it, and this little thing will definitely be coming handy, because a lot of times my scissors, I throw them in my bag, and then you put stuff on top of it, and it gets buried in the bag, and then you can't get it out nice and easily. This basically, with this split ring here, I'll attach it to the side of my bag, and it'll just be hanging there, so whenever I want to use it, you know, I can cut whatever line I want. It's a pretty long cord here too. This is at least 3 feet, so I have 3 feet of action here where I can go and cut whatever I want. So a nice little tool that'll come in handy. Alright guys, so moving on, let's see what else we got here. Got a couple nice baits here, and I'm pulling these out together because they're made by the same company, and they are called Riot Baits, and one is a beaver bait and one is a jig. And let me pop out the jig real quick and give you a closer look at it. And this jig really looks good. I've never fished with Riot Baits, but I decided to give them a shot because you know, they're newly carried at Ramsey Outdoor Store, and they're a small little company in northern New Jersey, and they look really good. You know, I'm going to definitely catch some fish on these. And this right here is a small little jig. It's a darker color, you know, black with a little bit of green pumpkin and purple mixed in. And I wish I could give you a closer look, but the camera that I used to give you really close-up detailed looks at broke, so I don't have it anymore. But this jig here, I plan to mainly use this as a tool in Montauk, New York, because I'm going to be going out to Montauk, New York in a day from now, and I'm going to be freshwater fishing and saltwater fishing. But when I do freshwater fish, I'm going to be targeting a lake out there called Fort Pond. That's why I was about to say pond, but it's actually a lake, and the water is real muddy and dirty. It's got like a darkish tint to it, and I love fishing dark black jigs in dark muddy water. And I can't really see myself using this in the pre-spawn or, you know, spawning season, but I could definitely see myself using it at night or in the post-spawn period. So probably once July comes, and as well as August, this jig here, probably rigged with a Uncle Josh port frog, will probably do some damage and catch me some nice fish. The other product that I got here from Riot Baits is the Fuzzy Beaver in blue steel. Let me give you a closer look at the beaver here. And this is the bait right here. A nice, you know, black and blue bait with some silver glitter and some blue glitter. And I love fishing beaver baits in the July and August, you know, basically the post-spawn time of the season, when the bass kind of migrate offshore to grass beds and offshore structure. And I love to rig this with a 2.0 Gamakatsu EWG offset worm hook with a 1/4 to or either 1/2 ounce pegged tungsten bullet weight. And I love to just basically flip into grass or flip along rocky, you know, structure. And again, I'm definitely going to be using this bait out in Fort Pond and Montauk because the water is a dirty, stingy color. And for whatever reason, you know, I have a feeling it's visibility. You know, when you're fishing dirty or stingy water, a black and blue bait like this just straight up stands out and catches a bass's eye, and they just smash it. If I was fishing clear water, like probably like the pond right here behind me, I probably wouldn't use this bait because it's a little bit on the unnatural side or the unnatural color side. You know, the water that I'm right here behind me is, you know, 15-foot visibility, surprisingly not, in this small little pond. They're looking for more of like a green pumpkin, something that's matching the color of the bottom. But when you're fishing in dirty water though, definitely go with a black and blue type bait or a black type bait, something that the bass can see. Finally, Fishaholics, the last thing I got here in my box from Ramsey Outdoor Store are Thunder Mist T-turn swivels. And I'm really liking these swivels. They're a newer product. I've never actually fished with them, but I really have an idea where they could work really effectively, and that's basically trolling my twisty tube, a tube that I make myself for fishing out of a boat or a kayak. And right here is the Thunder Mist T-turn swivel. It's very similar to a 3-way swivel, but it isn't. And basically I attached a small clip here, which that will be used to clip on a sinker, depending on the current and the depth, you know, anywhere from 2 to, you know, 6, 7 ounces, 8 ounces maybe. You know, I troll off Montauk Lighthouse a lot of times with a setup very similar to this, with sometimes 6 to 8 ounces because of the really strong current and because of the depth that you're fishing. You know, you're fishing 40 feet of water and you're fishing a really fast rip current around the point of Montauk. You need to get that tube down into the strike zone, close to the bottom, if you want to connect with some striped bass. And how I would basically rig this T-turn here is I would tie to the open section of the swivel here with my braided line or my main line, and then obviously attach the weight here, and then this would be my monofilament or fluorocarbon. Usually would be my fluorocarbon. I always fish with, like I said, Blue Label Seaguar fluorocarbon. I would probably fish with a 5 to 6 foot section of Blue Label Seaguar fluorocarbon. Right here I only have a couple feet because I just wanted to demonstrate and show you how I would rig up my trolling tube. But you could probably use this for any trolling tube out there on the market. You could use this method to rig up and effectively troll light tackle tubes in order to get down in the strike zone and hopefully catch some more striped bass. But yeah, this is my twisty tube. Another closer look. If you haven't seen it yet, which it'll be available very soon, probably in a week from now, I can guarantee you. But anyways, that's all the tackle that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little unboxing video, and are looking forward to me putting some of this tackle to the test and catching some fish on it, because a lot of the tackle that I got specifically for making my life easier, whether it's going to make me more efficient out on the water, such as the boomerang tool here, or it's just going to straight up make me catch more fish, such as the Kitex, the Scat Wraps, and the T-turn swivels. So anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe,